Yo, have you ever heard of the mangaka named Miki Yoshikawa? Doesn't ring a bell, huh? If you're one of those people who just read manga without bothering to know who actually wrote it, you seriously need to show some appreciation, dude. Anyway, Yamada-kun and the Seven Witches? Now that should ring a bell. If you're an old-school reader or anime watcher, I'm sure you've at least heard of it. Yamada-kun and the Seven Witches was a fun watch, and believe me, its manga is one of the best romance stories I've ever read. It's that good. If you're a newer anime fan, you might have heard of A Couple of Cuckoos. Yeah, that ecchi harem anime with a surprisingly solid plot. I haven't read its manga yet. I'm waiting for it to finish first. Well, guess what? Both of these gems were brought to life by none other than Miki Yoshikawa. And now, Miki Yoshikawa is back with another manga called Hiiragi-san no Kyuuketsu Jijou. This one's a fresh family rom-com where our main character, Minamoto Shota, gets adopted by a rich family. And now he's got to adjust to living with this extraordinary, extra-rich household, complete with two beautiful stepsisters. I mean, what could possibly go wrong, right? Don't get any weird ideas now. I'm reading this manga strictly for the plot. But before you start asking, Shanks, isn't this just another manga about step-siblings? Throw any boy into a house with two non-blood-related sisters, and it's bound to get popular, right? Well, you're wrong there. I'm not reading this manga just for that kind of plot. Okay, maybe I am a little, but there's actually a real story here, and I want to talk about that plot. Think about it. Doesn't it seem strange that a wealthy family would adopt a boy and shower him with luxury? And before you say, maybe they just wanted a son, or they're just trying to do a good deed, let me ask you this. Why would they adopt a boy who's around the same age as their daughter? Why not go for, I don't know, a 5-year-old? This isn't your typical step-sibling rom-com. The story actually takes a dark turn, and you'll know exactly what I mean once you hit the later parts of the first chapter. Other than that, the art style and character designs in this manga are top-notch, and yes, the ecchi scenes are blended in so well that it's not even surprising. After all, Miki Yoshikawa was actually an assistant to Hiro Mashima, the genius behind Fairy Tail. You can definitely see Mashima's influence in her artwork. Just take a look at this character design. Tell me she doesn't look like Lucy. And no, I'm not complaining. I love this kind of art style. Anyway, I totally recommend giving this manga a read. Now I'm about to dive into the first chapter, so if you don't mind, stick around, or if you'd rather not get spoiled, go read the first chapter and then come back. Either way, you're not allowed to leave, my fellow Izumis. Hey, that has a nice ring to it. From now on, I'm calling you guys Izumis, if you don't mind. So, let's get started. As I've already mentioned, our main character Shota is a 14-year-old orphan living at the Komorebi orphanage. One day, he's offered adoption by a rich family. At first, he's not very convinced, because, life is not a fairy tale. But hey, money has a funny way of convincing people. So, he agrees to stay with them for 3 days in exchange for some cash, after which he can decide whether he wants to be adopted or not. Then, we're introduced to the Hiiragi family. The boy who never had anyone to call family suddenly gets a new mom, dad, and 2 new sisters. After a quick introduction, Shota learns that the family adopted him because they wanted a successor, and being the latest addition to the family, he's treated like royalty. It doesn't take long for Miki to show what she's really good at, drawing ecchi rom-com. She was Hiro Mashima's assistant, after all. We even get some classic sisters fighting over Shota moments. Yeah, we needed that. But then, as the first day ends and Shota is brushing his teeth, he notices something odd. There are 5 toothbrushes, but only 4 family members besides him. Weird, right? He doesn't think much of it until he walks by a room that's locked from the outside and hears strange noises coming from it. Before Shota can investigate, Mommy Hiiragi shows up and tells him he can't go into that room. Later, as Shota lays in bed, curiosity gets the best of him. Because of course, how could he sleep with a mystery like that on his mind? So he sneaks into the locked room, only to find a person inside eating what looks like rice. Shota, being the brave guy he is, screams, "Monster!" as the monster lunges at him. Shota ends up on the ground with this person sitting on top of him, looking hungry and ready to devour him. Then, the Hiiragi family shows up, all wearing sinister smiles. The mom says, "Do it, Yuki," and the monster, a girl named Yuki, apologizes and bites Shota's neck, drinking his blood. Yuki, who looked sick and weak just moments earlier, suddenly becomes full of life after draining Shota almost dry and then passes out. Shota sits up, stunned by what just happened. But he's not the only one surprised. The Hiiragi family is in shock too. They ask him, "How are you still alive?" Spoilers to them. He's the main character. Yes, folks, the Hiiragi family is a family of vampires, and anyone they suck dry usually dies instantly. But somehow, Shota survives. If you want to know why Shota is still breathing, you'll have to read the manga yourself. This was just the first chapter, and I hope you're now willing to give this manga a try. After all, it's got beautiful vampire sisters, just the right amount of ecchi and romance, and panels that make you wonder, what the heck am I reading? But the plot really is good, with plenty of mysteries and family secrets to uncover. And this manga also got some real dark moments, like this one. But don't think it's all doom and gloom. There are some hilarious moments too. Like when Shota gets sick, and instead of giving him medication, the sisters decide to offer a sacrifice to heal him. That was just hilarious. Well, I totally recommend this manga, and you should definitely give it a shot. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button with a kamehameha, give the subscribe button a good smack, and share the video like crazy. Alright then, see ya.